Hello students, I will continue in this video with the topic I had left in previous one, that is money and its functions. So let us revise the definition of money. Money is anything which performs the functions of medium of exchange and measure of value. So we can take an example. A currency note or a coin is money because it helps you in exchanging goods in return of the money you give. That is, instead of goods you are paying the money now. Earlier in barter system we were giving goods in return of goods. But at present we have money that helps in buying goods and services. Now let us discuss the functions of money in detail one by one. We have here 5 functions written already on the board. I will discuss them one by one in detail. The first and foremost function of money is medium of exchange. Now children, we remember the problem of double coincidence of bonds in barter system. But money has removed this problem by working as a medium of exchange, and it is a very perfect medium of exchange. The reason is that it is easily accepted by everyone, and so it helps in buying and selling goods without finding the coincidence. For example, if I give a rupee note or a dollar for buying something, the person who sells will accept it easily because he will be able to use it for further exchanges, and he will not have to search someone who will not be in need of that note or currency, because the next person will again use it for his needs. So medium of exchange function means money works as a source that helps in act of selling and buying goods. So we can also say exchange is split or divided into 2 acts now, the act of selling and act of purchasing or buying and selling. Next function is measure of value. Measuring value means anything, maybe food, wheat, rice, clothes, anything. What value they have can be measured easily with the help of money. Let us take an example. I am holding 2 goods here. One is a pen and another a marker. The pen is of rupees 5 and this is of rupees 40. So we can measure their values relatively or maybe in terms of any common unit, that is known as common unit of account. The unit of account is common here, that is rupee. We don't have to measure them in different units. For example, this pen, for how much wheat needed for buying this pen, how much rice needed for buying this pen, and so on. So we have a common unit of account and we can easily measure the value without any complexity or any confusion. Earlier it was difficult that we have to measure everything in return of different goods. So it was not easy to measure the value in a common unit. So this is the next function of money. Now the third function is standard for deferred payments. The word deferred here, again I will repeat as I have explained in barter system. The deferred payments are the payments which are made in future. For example, when you buy anything for which you cannot pay on the spot, you will have to make its payment in future. That is a kind of deferred payment. We can also name it as future payment or contractual payment. So when we make such payment, what standard rate will be made for such payment? Let us take an example. When you buy a house that costs rupees 40 lakhs and you do not have enough money, in that case you make a payment of 10 lakhs and remaining 30 lakhs you borrow from a bank. It means the bank makes a payment on your behalf and you will make a payment to the bank, but bank will charge you something extra for that. That extra charge is known as standard for deferred payment. In simple words, we can call it is the interest rate which you have to make for the deferred payment. So this function is a very important function with regard to discussion of banking system. For example, when you borrow or when you lend you have to set a standard rate for this activity. That is the standard of deferred payment. So we can say standard for deferred payment is the function of money which allows borrowing and lending. It was very complex and difficult in the barter system. Let us take another example. Suppose you borrow wheat and you will return it after 10 years. How much extra wheat will you return? Or suppose you will return rice in exchange of wheat. How much extra will you return after 10 years? It cannot be fixed and cannot be decided. So that was the drawback which money removes by working as a standard for deferred payments. Now next I have merged two functions, store of value and transfer of value into one. You can learn or write them into combined in two paragraphs or separately, but you must know them separately. So let me explain to you. Store of value means you store value of things. Let us take another example here again. Suppose you are a producer of wheat. You sell wheat. The wheat has value. You sell it and you get money in return. You can save or store the money easily. But can you store wheat for a very long time? No, it is not possible that you store wheat for your next generation, that your grandson or your son will use it after 20 years. So storing value was difficult in barter system, but storing value is very easy and simple because money neither decays nor does it need space for storing. It can be stored in very limited place. So the storing value also helps in growing the habit of saving. Another function I will discuss is the last function, that is transfer of value. Again I will go back to the barter system. A farmer who wants to transfer the value of his wheat from one place to another. Let us say he has to move from Delhi to Bombay. Will it be so simple for him to carry a lot of wheat? Or sometimes it may be immovables like property, land and building. Can he move them? Can you transfer them? No, not at all. But here again money performs a very useful function of transferring the value. He can sell his things, maybe his house, his building, his property or wheat, and he can easily transfer this value in terms of money. Another way we can say in modern times, instead of carrying money, we use credit cards, debit cards, which help in making payment from one place to another, and the value or money is transferred without much complexity and difficulty. Moreover, e-money, that is like Paytm and many other apps which help in transferring the value without any physical movement of money from one place to another. Let us take an example again. You go to the malls, shops and you swipe your credit card or you make a payment on Paytm. Physically the money is not paid from you to that shopkeeper, but the money is transferred into his account from your account digitally or in another way. So this is the most modern function you can say, but it helps in expanding the economic activities. So children, I have discussed all the functions of money here, but what you need to do for your preparation, you will study them. Maybe they are given in different way in your books in paragraph. So you have to search them, where is which function detailed, then you will write them heading wise. Each heading contains a question, or it may be in another form that they will ask you how is the problem of barter system solved by the use of money. So that way you have to merge the question of barter system and functions of money to make one topic. So please study it well and find your doubts. You can ask me later on. Thank you. Have a nice day.